Coming up next, get ready for a musical good time. We've got country music singer Gary Gene Bolton here on See You at USC, the best college talk show on television. Welcome to See You at USC. I'm your host, Rachna Katau, and today we're talking with Gary Gene Bolton, country music singer-songwriter. How are you, Gary?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I had a chance to listen to your music a little bit, and I'm not very familiar with the country music genre, so you'll have to forgive me and really educate me from this show here today. How is it that you got started in country music? You're from Kansas, is that right?
I'm from Kansas, moved to Los Angeles 25 years ago almost, and really wasn't focused on country. I just focused on music, and first song I recorded ended up being a country song, and I've been doing country music or pop country music for ever since. And I guess I just haven't, fortunately or unfortunately, haven't gotten rid of that Kansas twang.
Yeah. So. So you've been here for 20 some odd years, and you still have that in your voice.
Yeah, I do.
So, well, it's authentic then that you're a country singer, right?
Well, I am from Kansas. I'm not from the farm, but
right.
you know.
Right. What part of Kansas are you from?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Kansas. It's a 20,000 population town in southeast corner of Kansas. That's a pretty good sized town in Kansas, but no one else out here has heard of it.
Right, right. I've got some friends in different parts of Kansas and Missouri, but more like Kansas City and stuff like that. So, so you said that you came to Los Angeles and you were doing all kinds of different music, but you just sort of ended up doing country. What were your influences that led you down that path?
Well, when I've done a lot of demo work, so I demoed all kinds of music, all genres of music, and for various writers. And
explain real quick. Some people might not know what exactly is demo work.
Well, demo is a writer writes a song, but he can't sing very good, so he needs somebody to try to put the voice to the music.
Right.
And so different writers I sang around town, and different writers saw me and said, "Hey, could you demo this song, demo that song?" And so I did a lot of that.
And what genre were those songs falling under?
They were pop. You know, pop was really big. You know, and the market the pop market was the giant in those days, and the country market wasn't as big in those days. But things have changed quite a bit.
Yeah, we just had the Country Music Awards, and they were huge.
Yeah,
huge.
They really haven't. I think probably Charlie Rich was a country artist in the 70s, and he was a phenomenal artist, and he had the Memphis sound, which was a soulful kind of quality, and it just really caught me. And I don't think I've heard any artist since that, you know, appealed to me quite as much as he did. And then Kenny Rogers was very big, and Kenny Rogers and Anne Murray, and so I got into that kind of music. That's where I started recording songs in that vein.
And you said that when you were performing around town and people would hear you and ask you to do these demos, where were you performing and what were you performing?
Well, I performed usually whatever the hits were, I wasn't performing original material.
So doing sort of covers?
Doing covers. And there was a showcase at the Hyatt on Sunset, and I sang a lot at the Sportsman's Lodge. Everywhere I could. You know, when I moved out here, I brought music and I just started going all over town and you know, singing anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's just what you have to do.
I had a chance to meet your daughter real quick before the show. And did you have a family when you moved out here, or were you still a bachelor at that time?
No, I was married, and my son was 2, and our daughter was born within the first year. So she's the only native Californian in the family. So.
And so you moved your family out here to pursue singing.
Yeah.
And did you have to get a day job?
I had to get a day job.
And what was that?
Well, I worked, I have a degree in accounting, and so I worked at Huntington Memorial Hospital over in Pasadena, and then sang at night.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a grind. And so it's just been, it's just one of those things. If you want to do it, you got to get out there and do it. LA is one, town where everybody's wanting to perform.
Right.
So, when you're performing for free for most of the time.
Yeah.
And then you get a paid gig here and there, and you start catching on. But even yet, it's not, until you land that big hit. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult to pay the bills.
Yeah, so. I can imagine. Did you feel like you were leading a double life at all?
Well, yeah, I am. I still living a double life. I feel like, and that's a hard thing to do, but you just have to, try to make that transition.
Yeah.
Because but when I moved out, it was always music. That was always the main thing. So I always, that was always at the first for me. So I didn't make anything equal to that, to where we I competed against myself for things.
Right. And did you have any contacts or any people out here that you knew, or was it just you and your wife and kids and sort of doing it on your own?
I had a friend from Pittsburgh who came out here and invested and produced a couple of films, and so he kind of was a guy at least I could call.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of phone numbers when I landed in town. That's about it.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, you just keep trying and you find your way.
How did you get those first gigs? You said that there was one at the Hyatt, at the Sportsman's Lodge. What did you do to get your foot in the door there?
Well, there are different trade papers around town, and I don't pay too much attention to them now, but there are ads like showcase and auditions at wherever these places were. So I'd just go and audition, and you bring some music and sing, and if they think you can perform fairly well, then you get to play.
Yeah.
So.
And these gigs were for free?
These gigs were for free.
So how long did you do that before?
I got tipped sometimes. One guy from Texas brought me up $100 in $1 bills in his hat. So I got some nice tips. But
had he been drinking a few, or did he know
he
what
probably
he was doing?
had. Yeah, I don't know if he'd do that stone sober, but
yeah. Well, I don't know how many people carry $1 bills, or that many.
Yeah, I don't know how he got the
100.
Yeah, that's a good question.
not the right environment for that.
So, but I sang at the Sportsman's, and then they hired me at the Sportsman's, and I did a lot of weekends and paid gigs out there.
So that turned into a nice little gig for you.
Yeah.
Did the kids come to shows with you? The wife
Sometimes,
and kids?
very little. They were, very small. They'd come and a couple friends would watch them at the table, and they'd sit and sip on cherry cokes and have a good time.
So they just always have.
They didn't stay out late.
Yeah.
I did something really, no. It's just they came a couple times. Maybe, if I was going to be on early and we get home at 10 o'clock, that's cool.
Yeah. Or maybe have the toddlers go to sleep while you're performing.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to go to a quick commercial break, but we will be back more with Gary Gene Bolton, and later on in the show, he is going to perform for us, so don't go away. Keep watching See You at USC, the best college talk show on television. Hey, welcome back to See You at USC. I'm Rachna, and if you want to find out more about us, you can visit us on the web at www.trojanvision.com. You can email us at cu@trojanvision.com, or you can call us at 213-743-2741. We are back with Gary Gene Bolton, country music singer-songwriter. We were talking during the break real quick. You had this sort of up-and-coming path that all singers and actors have in LA, working the free gigs and doing your thing and having a family and having a day job. But now you've got this album.
Yeah.
So tell me how the transition happened, that you were singing covers, and then now this album, you've got a lot of original work on here.
Well, I was singing covers, and then I had a couple country singles released, and that they weren't my songs, and they didn't do as well as I'd hoped they would, and didn't really have all the ingredients weren't there. And thought they were good songs at the time. When I listen now, I go, now I kind of see why that song didn't make it.
And were you doing this independently, or were you with a record label?
I was with a small label producer here in town, and so then I just was out of ideas, and really I didn't have any thoughts about what I would do next. And in some moment, I got an idea for a song, and tried to start writing songs all the time, and never ever finished anything. Never had any confidence that I could write a song. And so this idea stuck with me. I kept writing. After 1 year, I finished the first song, With a Little Bit of Love. It's on first tune on the album. And after I heard it, I said, I can write a song. And so I started writing, and I kept writing and wrote more and more. And then people said, hey, I like your words. I've got some music. You think you can write some words for mine? So we've come up with this album. It's first original tunes I've ever done.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And I think I wrote 10 of the 11. It's titled You Don't Know Me. And the producer, Richard Ajitsi, who really has helped turn me around with music, he's really got me in the right spot. He said, this You Don't Know Me standard is a great tune, and you could do a great job with that. So let's do this. So we did it. Came out great. He was very pleased, and that's his favorite song, I guess. But anyway, so he said, you ought to title this album You Don't Know Me. And I said, I don't know. I said, I think maybe we'll just leave it untitled. He goes, no, title the album You Don't Know Me. So that's what we did.
And what's the meaning behind You Don't Know Me?
Well, the song You Don't Know Me is written by Cindy Walker and Eddie Arnold. It's an old country song. It's been done many times. Ray Charles had a big hit with it. And it's about a guy who secretly was in love with a person, but she only thought they were friends. So it's You Don't Know Me. You don't know the one who dreams of you at night, longs to kiss your lips, longs to hold you tight. You'll never know. No, you don't know me. Aww. And so it's a great tune.
Yeah.
And so it's not. It won't be the first single off the album. We have an single, Me and My Baby, that's going to country radio right now.
That's so exciting. And is this your first one?
No, I've had singles to country radio before, but starting to get some feedback and some airplay on it, and some good stations around the country are starting to play it, and I'm feeling really good.
Yeah. So what's the next step after this song comes out on the radio? People start to hear it. Where does it go from there?
Well, the idea is if you get out the word that the album is really strong. To me, one single doesn't make it.
Right.
So, but if
you don't want to be
if
one
you
of those
get,
one-hit wonder
yeah,
guys,
if you really can get a reputation, get out the word that you have a really strong album. Listen to this album. Listen to the songs on this album, which I really feel we have here. Then that's to me. Once you get that out, then seems to me a DJ is going to go, well, I kind of like this a little better because this whole album's great. So you have to start with one.
Right. Right.
You can't just play the whole album across the programmers. Too many records out there. So.
Right. Well, what's really nice to hear you say is that you keep saying we have this good album, and we've done this, and we've done that.
Well, it's teamwork. Richard Ajitsi produced it. Randy Farrar co-produced it. We have Nathan East, who played bass, Mitch Holder, guitar. These are the very, very top musicians in the industry. I mean, the top.
So how did you get them? Was it people knew people, or they heard your work, or combination?
The producer Richard helped Nathan get his start. He was old friends with Mitch, and I had a friend. We got the pedal steel player Greg Lees, and we just put together a cast of heavy hitters, and so that really got me going, because I said, hey, I've never been in a place like this.
Yeah.
And so I got to hang with these guys,
So do you start to actually do the whole touring thing? Do you start working festival circuits? What are you going to be performing?
Right now, Randy, the co-producer's putting together charts, and we're really putting together an act that I haven't put together an act for a while, because I got into the writing, and I really just was doing writing. And for me, it was kind of like the best songs are the ones where you're just totally in some place where no one's at and no one bothers you. To me, these are where the ideas come from. And so now I got to get out of that, you know, and kind of get into the performing thing. So we're putting together 2 or 3 sets of music to get out there and start performing at, whether we do showcases, just the best venues we can. For me, you know, there are a lot of nice coffee houses, but there are a lot of places I just don't fit anymore. And so,
why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's I've gotten a little bit spoiled playing with these people, and it's really kind of hard for me to just sit in a corner somewhere, you know.
And do you actually play instruments, or do you is it accompanied by
well,
tracks?
You wouldn't want to hear me play anything. I'm an old trumpet player, and the lips don't work anymore.
Oh.
So, but I put the trumpet down a long time ago, and I play a little one-hand piano and stuff like that. If I'm writing, to me, if you have good words and a good melody, you put that together, then the rest is all going to fall into place. You know, so
and then you have great musicians, and they really help fill that all in.
And the arrangements, you know, and Richard Ejitsi is a producer-arranger. He's, you know, he's a music man. And so you can get a lot of arrangements, and a lot of them just don't work. You know, but these work. So.
Well, we're going to get a chance to see how these songs work. Right. We have to take one more break, but after the break, Gary is going to be performing for us. So stick with us. You're watching See You at USC, the best college talk show on television. Don't go away. Welcome back to See You at USC. Right now we have a special treat. Gary Gene Bolton is going to perform Whatever Happened to Main Street, his second track on his album. Gary, take it away.
Did a teacher leave today? Or did a farmer lose the land that was his heart and soul and livelihood today? Did a family depart? The factory closed its doors in a town with no more family stores. Stock market's up and there's a big celebration. Country clubs delighted with the news. But how many people feel this sensation when the good news touches such a few? Whatever happened to Main Street in the good old USA? Whatever happened to Main Street? Where's this place of dignity? And where is the integrity? And where's this place where people have their say? Whatever happened to Main Street in the good old USA? Is dad without the job? Or mom without the home that was her heart and soul and livelihood today? And where the children go to school, are their lives threatened? Are we people divided by possessions? I guess success to some means suits and briefcases, or expensive cars. I guess that's fine. But God, it seems, in oh so many places, success means only what is mine. Whatever happened to Main Street USA. Whatever happened to Main Street? Where's this place of dignity? And where is the integrity? And where's this place where people have their say? Whatever happened to Main Street in the good old USA? Whatever happened to Main Street in the good old USA?